Hello, Dr. Greg here with another video about eyes and our spine and pain and all that kind of stuff and anxiety. Remember last week I talked about looking at images going up and down and how that stimulates a certain part of your brain that actually can cause increased anxiety. Now, there's a part of your brain that can actually inhibit that activity because our brains are all about inhibition, and that's found right here in the brain stem called the pons. And it's the PMRF. Many of you have heard me talk about this before, the pontomedullary reticular formation. Now what's interesting about that, there's a couple of nerves that are found next to it which move your eyes. They don't move your eyes up and down. That's found up here, which is actually, you could call the stress center of your brain. But they move your eyes side to side. So if I'm looking at you and I turn my head this way, my eyes naturally want to go that way. But I force them to go to look at an object. If I go this way, they want to go that way. Actually, sorry, the opposite direction. But I can force them to look at an object. Now, when I turn my head like this and keep my eyes as still as possible, that is strengthening the inhibitory properties of your brain. It's actually strengthening this area and helping to not make the anxiety area so intense. So I'm going to show you a little exercise that you could do. And the important thing about this exercise, it may not work for everyone because you may not have this problem. But for individuals that don't generally have a problem, this is a really good exercise to do, especially if you spend a lot of time on the computer, flipping up and down, all that type of stuff. You want to try and strengthen your eyes in other ways. So here it is. You see I have a dot on the wall, okay? And this dot is pretty big. I usually recommend starting with a bigger dot because it's easier to do. And what you're going to want to do is have it at eye level when you're sitting down. So I'm going to sit down, and it's at eye level. Now, I'm going to look at that dot, straight at that dot with my two eyes, right? Look at that dot, and all I'm going to do is, I think you could see, you can't see. Let me move my chair over just a little bit. All you're going to do is look at that dot, okay? And you're going to turn your head right and left while your eyes remain on the dot. And you're going to do it very slowly. And you're going to do it 4 times. And you're going to do that throughout the day because you're going to be looking at the computer all day long, so you need to strengthen your eyes a little bit. So what's important is that your eyes, I'll look at the camera, your eyes stay still, and you go like this. Probably no faster than that. Now what you may find is that your eyes you feel your eyes jiggle a little bit. You can actually feel them jiggle if they're not on the target. And that means that they can't work together. That means that they're confused. So what you need to do is slow down and just simply move your head even slower and not as far so your eyes stay on target. Remember I told you about the little dots behind your eyes, inside your eyes, they're called the fovea? The whole reason for that fovea to be there is to have your eyes work together to keep focused on a target. Now, if they're just 2% off, they're going to slip off a little bit. You might get blurry vision, you might get double vision, you might get dizzy, you might get lots of different types of symptoms, you might get anxiety. So it's important that you slow it down, be very deliberate, and you only have to do 4 passes. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and you're done. So what I recommend is doing it every couple of hours. You see, it doesn't take long, just to help you overcome this computer stuff. Looking at the computer too much is not good for us, especially when it's close to our face. So the other thing about this exercise is you want the dot greater than arm's length away. And as you get better at it, you make the dot smaller. So that's all I have for you today. This is Dr. Greg, changing the way we look at health.